Hi, my name is Ovidiu Pârvu and I'm a PhD student in the Department of Computer Science at Brunel University under the supervision of Professor David Gilbert. This video is a tutorial on how to use Mudi, the multidimensional spatio-temporal model checker. This presentation I'll be talking about how to access the official website of Mudi, download the software and supplementary data, then how to install Mudi on Linux, because currently only the Linux version of Mudi is distributed on the website. If you have a different operating system and would like to use Mudi, please contact us and we'll try to provide you with the required binaries. And finally, I'll show you how to run Mudi. So for these experiments, I've set up a virtual machine on which I installed Ubuntu 13.10, and this is 32-bit version of the operating system. Okay, so first of all, let's access the official website, which is mudi.modelchecking.org. And then we'll access the download section of the download page. And as I said, this is a 32-bit version of Ubuntu, so this is the Debian package we will download. Secondly, we'll download supplementary data. Now there are two case studies on this website, and we'll just choose the first one, phase variation. Okay, so we'll take the dataset of 1000 STML files. So these STML files correspond to the traces or time series data generated for the model, and the PBLSTL statements are the logic properties against which we will validate the model. Okay, so we downloaded all of these, and then we'll go to the second step, which is installing Mudi. Now you can install a Debian package using software package manager or from the command line. And since not all Linux distributions have software package manager with a graphical user interface, I'll just use the command line to install the package. Okay, so we'll go to downloads, and then here we have the Debian package for Mudi, the PBLSTL statements in this in file, and the HTML dataset as an archive. So first of all, let's install Mudi, and I'll just show you that Mudi depends on another package which is called libxerxes, so it's another library, and of course it depends on libc, libgcc, libstd, C++, but these are usually distributed with Linux distributions by default, so you'll probably have these. What you'll require extra is the libxerxes library. Okay, so in general, when you have a Debian package and you want to install it and also install all the dependent packages, what you could use is gdebi. Okay, so that's what we'll use here. It's gdebi, and then just write the name of the package. And also we'll need administrator or super user privileges to run this command. Let me run it now. I won't tell you my password. Okay, so Debi, it's gdebi, sorry, I misspelled it here. There's a typo. Okay, it's running it now. It says if I want to install it, yes, install it. Okay, so now it should run. The easiest way to test if it was properly installed is just by running it. Write Mudi and then with the parameter help. Okay. So Mudi was executed successfully, and this is the help page of Mudi. And I'll just go with you briefly through it. So the first one is the name, the usage, description, the required arguments. So first of all, what you have to provide is the path to the spatio-temporal queries or logic properties input file. In our case, that was the file which had the extension .in. Secondly, we have to provide the path to the folder containing spatio-temporal traces. So these are the STML files. okay, and we have this in an archive. So we'll have to extract that archive shortly and place all the HTML files in a folder. Then we have the extra evaluation time. So if you have a model checker execution which isn't provided with enough HTML files to decide if the model is valid or not, then what it has to do is to generate extra HTML files. And you can place an upper bound on how much time the model checker has to generate additional HTML files and evaluate them. And you do this via this extra evaluation type parameter. And finally you have the model checker type argument, and currently Mudi is a model checking platform which allows 5 different types of approximate probabilistic model checking algorithms. The first one is probabilistic black box and is identified. So if you want to use the probabilistic black box method, then you should use the model checker type 0, 1 for frequentist statistical, and so on. You can go through this list ourselves. Then we have optional arguments, and we'll use only one of them, or we use 2 of them. The first one is help, which we used, and second one will be verbose. So this is if you want to display additional details when running Mudi. And finally, for each model checking type, you'll have specific arguments. Now, in this execution of Mudi, let's use the frequentist statistical model checking algorithm, and this will have 2 arguments, type 1 error and type 2 error. So these are the type 1 error, the probability of type 1 errors and probability of type 2 errors, which are usually encoded by alpha, respectively beta in statistics. And finally, these are just additional information. Okay, so as I said, we have the input file containing logic properties, and we need a folder containing all the HTML files. So this is a 7Z archive. So we'll extract that. Okay, we'll extract that, and they were all extracted in this folder. So we'll just create a new folder. Let's call it phase variation, and we'll move all the phase variation HTML files, so all which are XML files. We'll move all of them to the phase variation folder. Okay. Right. And now we'd like to run Mudi with the following required arguments. So first of all, the path to the input file containing logic properties, and this file containing logic properties currently has, I think, 8 logic properties, and we should reduce their number just to reduce the execution time, because I'm just showing you here how to use the model checker, but it will be the same if you run for 1 or more queries. So I'll just leave this one. And just as a side note, when you write input files with logic queries, if you add a hashtag symbol before line, then that's a comment. Okay, so we'll save this, and then okay, so then we'll run Mudi with the first parameter q, the input file containing the logic properties, then t for traces or HTML files, the path, the folder containing the HTML files, the extra execution time, is 0, model checking type is 1, and then the specific arguments for the frequentist statistical model checker are type 1 error, so that's 5% in this case, and so type 2 error, again 5%. Okay, so let me check. So queries are in this file, traces in the phase variation folder, extra evaluation time 0, model checker type 1. The type 1 error is 5%, type 2 error is again 5%. Okay, so we run Mudi, and this is the output, and I'll go through all sections of the output with you. So first of all, we have some introduction. This is Mudi, the current version of it, what type you use, the parameters, so this type 1 error probability, type 2 error probability, contact details, and so on. Then we have the logic queries which were parsed, and here is a success. So this was parsed successfully from the input file which we provide here. And then we start the execution of the model checker, and we evaluate this logic property against these HTML files. So we have here the list of HTML files, and finally we have here the result. It says that the logic property holds. This is true, and the provided answer is given for the type 1 error probability and type 2 error probability of 5%. Okay, if you run Mudi with the verbose flag, then what you'll see additionally is which HTML files evaluated to true and which evaluated to false for this logic property. Okay, so you have here, besides what you had previously, so I'll just go from the beginning. This is intro, init sections, parsing, execution for the HTML files, the results, and then you have the details. And for this logic property, you'll see the HTML files in if they evaluated true, or here, for instance, the false again. Okay, and in the end you have how many traces out of the total, so this is 81 out of 83 HTML files or is spatio-temporal traces evaluated to true. Okay, so this is it actually. If you want to run it against all the logic properties, you can do that by yourselves, or if you want to try this for the second case study, the chemotaxis case study, you can do that as well in a similar manner. However, if you have any issues, you can use this link to contact, report them, and you can just click here new issue, and you will just complete a form, and you can add labels and so on. However, if you don't want to contact us regarding an issue but you have a certain question, then please use the contact details provided here. So these are two email addresses, Skype on the personal webpage. For the email addresses, I use this very abstract notation because I wanted to avoid receiving a lot of spam emails. So this is very easily changed to my real address by replacing square bracket fn closed square bracket that represents my first name, to replace that with a video, and the second part, so this part you replace with partner. Okay, and that's it. Thank you for watching.